Okay, perfect. So as we were speaking, there's a massive amount, breadth of kinds of things you can do with this dance form, from like power to grace to dynamic movements to drama. So we're trying, part of the theme is to try and capture a little bit of that. So now from grace we move to power for the second performance. The second piece is called Natesha Kauthuvam. Now some of you might know Nataraj is a form of Lord Shiva, father of the other god that we just prayed to, and he has a form of Nataraja which is associated as like the cosmic dancer. So many dancers generally take blessings and pray to Nataraja. One of the forms that she had just done was the Nataraja.
Is it that Nataraja?
Yeah. So that statue there is also of Nataraja. So Natesha Kauthuvam Natesha is another name for Lord Nataraja, Lord Shiva, and Kauthuvam means a poetic quality. So in this one, there will be a lot of iconography for Lord Shiva, like his trident, it's one of his iconic weapons, his damru, and his cosmic dance form. So there's a specific dance form called Tandava, which is associated more with Nataraj, and part of elements of that will be part of this piece. And this piece, special note about this piece also, this piece that she is going to perform is exactly the piece that she did in her engagement in 2008. And as she said, like as dancers, they learn for many years, and Arangetram is a point at which they kind of qualify as a full-fledged dancer, and she had of course qualified it back in 2008. And I'm sure it's one of the most auspicious day. I'm not sure if today comes close or not.
Feels today.
You can say that diplomatically for now. Sure, we'll.
Arangetram is a PhD of dance.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So
Actually, Viva.
and then you have to sort of make a whole recital for, and it was a massive, from what I hear, a humongous deal with all of the IFL pretty much in the hall. And we can discuss about it maybe another time. But this piece is from that, she's going to perform the exact piece. And the music that you're going to hear was the live music that was recorded during the piece. So if you hear claps at the end, like, forgive me, I'm supposed to bring it down by the end. So hopefully I do a good job with that.
I'll get claps regardless.
Hey. Okay, so things to look out for in this one. So we shift from grace to more dynamic movements, quick changes in mode, and this form of thunder form of dance. Okay, with that, second performance, Natesha.
Probably saw the difference in the tempo from the first to the second. So,
I have seen. And his son is his father.
main thing is that I guess a lot of difference in the mood of the pieces
Oh,
as
the
well.
gods you're telling.
First dance, second dance means that is son Ganesha, this is Shiva is his father.
So, one is because this is the style of dance that I said I learned growing up, which was a lot more fast paced. A lot of steps in like single sentences. It used to be quite a bit to remember and memorize and do. And the second part is what Jenna said, which is this is Tandav dance, which is or I guess this is more outdated but more male dominated dance, more masculine. And then there's the counterpart, which is called Lasya, which is the more feminine, graceful dance. It is said that Lord Shiva used to do the Tandav when he would get ferocious, angry, and he would open his third eye. And then to calm him down, his wife Parvati, who's also the mother of Lord Ganesha, would perform the Lasya dance, which is more soft, feminine, and easy movements to calm him down when he was angry. So that's kind of, again, no more restricted to males and females, of course. Everybody's doing all the dance, but it's predominantly masculine and feminine types of dances within those. So, yeah, that was Natesha Kauthuvam.
So just one question. So in this, when you, I'm talking about the audio part.
Yeah.
One sees two voices in this particular piece. There's one, of course, similar to what you did in Pushpanjali. There's a male voice who is kind of singing, but also there is another male voice which comes look like a timing kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So what is this part called, and who actually sang in this case? Who is the male singer and who is the other?
You know the others, but
No, this is for all of us. This is
very curated question. I promise I didn't give him this question. So in this was, as Janak said, this was the live performance audio. So during my Arangetram we had live orchestra. It was a pretty massive orchestra with 3 singers and my gurus, my teachers, and a lot of like instruments as part of the orchestra. So the singer who's singing the actual song, the lyrics of the song is Mr. Ganeshan. He is pretty popular in the classical dance space and a very, very popular singer amongst those. And of course you heard his voice. He has a very nice way of molding his voice as per the mood of the song. So, you know, in very like sad, soft pieces, he like really tones it down, and then like more ferocious for this one, for example. And then the syllables or the steps part of it, you would have heard a different kind of voice. That is my teacher's teacher, who's M. Kalyan Raman Pillai. He was actually a very, very famous mridangist in his time. He was also on All India Radio, like pretty big in his space, and he was a very good Bharatanatyam dancer as well. So I had the privilege of learning from him. He's no more. But I think after I finished my engagement with my dance teacher, it was like progressing to him to learn the more like complicated pieces and getting to know a little bit more about like beats and how to be on rhythm, timing, those kind of things. So he was the one who would do this. And very interestingly, like he at a later point in his life, of course, when he was much older, he had lost like of course he was losing memory of all sorts of things. And I remember I was going to him to learn for I was preparing for a certain recital, so I went to him and I wanted to learn certain pieces from him. And he would be like he wasn't in a state to sit and teach me, so he would be lying down on his bed and teaching me. And every time I would go in, I would go to my dad actually, and every time I would go in, he would ask me like, what are you preparing for? What are you performing at? And then I would tell him, oh, this is the recital, this is on this day. I think maybe in a day he would ask me 3 or 4 times that same question. He would completely forget. But when it came to the beats, the rhythm, he was spot on. Like he's lying down, but he's saying everything exactly on time, exactly correctly. Catches me when I'm making a mistake. Like I think it means it's so part of him, like intrinsically part of him, dance, that his memory fails him at that point. So yeah, that's just a little bit.
Don't ask her.
I'm not asking.
Artist, that's what